Don't use your wrist. Don't use your wrist. Don't use your wrist.
Allow me to show you something.
Hello and welcome everybody to another day. Today is day 6 of Southeast Asia DeFi week. How is everyone doing? Last week was extremely crazy, wasn't it? What's that? Again, it's right now 3 p.m. sharp, and we are broadcasting live from the Asia Blockchain Center, right at the skirts of Kuala Lumpur, in the sunny, really hot day in Malaysia. And Southeast Asia DeFi Week is also supported by a plethora of media partners, all across Southeast Asia, from Philippines, from Thailand, from Indonesia, from Vietnam, Singapore, and also yours truly in Malaysia. We'll give a shout out to each and every one of them. You're going to know each and every one of them, throughout the entire week. So don't worry about that. There couldn't be a better time to learn about DeFi or to organize a Southeast Asia DeFi week, because there's just so much build-up and traction going on in the space. Just last week on Monday, we had Ave here, right, and we were just talking about trying to make sense of the amount of traction that these platforms are getting. I think last Monday, if you actually review back the video, they had 650 million, of financial assets locked, in their protocol, and 1 week later they have hit. I think they're the third, to hit the $1 billion mark, and then now they have 1.2 billion, which is crazy, amazing, the amount of traction, going into DeFi. We also saw Curve, launched their token last week. Crazy week, and they are also probably the fourth, to hit 1 billion in deposits, which goes to show that there's something very interesting happening in this space. So if you have not been following, and this is your first time listening in on day 6, what is DeFi? Let's do a quick recap, DeFi is short for decentralized finance. Now, what is the simplest way that I can define, and explain it in the shortest way possible? Is basically an emerging set of financial products and tools that you can use without needing intermediaries. So we saw a lot of different things that over the course of the week, and one of the jargons, that you are probably going to hear a lot in the DeFi space is this word called money Lego, right? And the reason for that is because these people like Compound, like Aave, like Curve, like Synthetics, like DYDX, which are building all these new tools that we can use. Every time, okay, that we see something that is useful, like Compound and Aave giving us interest rate markets, that's a money Lego. A platform to swap one token to another token without needing intermediaries, like Uniswap, that's another money Lego. Synthetic assets, okay, another money Lego. Flash loans, the ability to borrow funds um, as long, okay, as you can repay that loan, okay, within 15 seconds, that's another money Lego. And as a result, what this creates, and part of the reason why it's so exciting, um, is because this is something that we have never seen before in what we are familiar with in the traditional finance space. Because this, by creating all these different money Legos, and for the fact of that all these new products and innovations are by nature globally globally accessible, open, borderless, permissionless, censorship resistant. It allows for what we call composability, which means that anyone, okay, in the space that says that, oh, that guy has built something very interesting, can I take that and then can I build something else and on top of it or along with it, and then compose into something new. And this kind of innovation is not common and in what we are already familiar with. And thus, okay, is part of the reason now that it's gaining, because a lot of these protocols have been building over the last 3 years. We're starting to see it get a lot of product traction right now, and it's growing really, really, really fast. Now, having that being said, as much as this is a very exciting space, there's still a lot of high risk and uncertainty. Okay, a lot of the projects are still in their alpha mode. You probably might have realized right now that many of the people that we have already invited and you heard them speak, they are very happy with the traction that they are getting. Okay, even in their alpha or beta stage. However, they are very upfront with the risk, okay, that is involved. A lot of things, even like what we saw in the YAM incident last week, when something is not audited, it's even more high risk. And even if something is audited, a smart contract is audited, it does not completely eliminate the risk. Thus, we want to basically be very clear that none of the content shared throughout Southeast Asia DeFi Week should be treated as financial or investment advice. The reason why we created this entire 7-day program is because it is very timely, okay, to talk about DeFi. A lot of the information seems to be fragmented, and it's moving really, really fast. So that's why we brought all these projects together so that you get to hear from them yourselves and learn, okay, what they're all about. Our goal is to help more people get educated about decentralized finance, about DeFi, what it actually does, by providing a place that you can feel safe. And it's easy, okay, to understand about DeFi. So I'm going to share the links, okay, later of the last 5 days that we have covered later in the group chat. So if you have missed out on the last 5 days, you can easily access it from the comment section later on. All right, and we want to help people to be able to differentiate between what is real, what is fake, what is legit, what is full of not legit. Okay, so that especially right now when so much money is being attracted, okay, into this space, there is a very high incentive for bad actors to take advantage, okay, of unsuspecting, gullible, ignorant, okay, people. okay, in this environment. So it is extremely important, okay, to exercise that caution. But the good news is you can learn how to identify them very, very quickly. And the moment that you overcome that, then what happens is that you start to have it's like having your head above the water finally, and then you can see all the different kinds of opportunities in the space. And you can this is one of the places, okay, despite all that's happening throughout the world, the coronavirus, unemployment rates at all-time high, one industry that is actually booming and it's growing really, really fast, and it's hungry for talent and talented contributors is the DeFi space. Plenty of opportunity to find remote work, okay, and generate an alternative income. So get yourself educated, okay, and when you do that, you can become a very attractive person, okay, that these reputable, well-funded blockchain projects will want to get to know you. They want you to be their users. They want you to be their fans. They want you to become their champions. That is the purpose of this week. So I hope that you are going to enjoy, okay, the last 5 days if you have not seen it yet. All right, we'll send in the links below. But here we are on day 6, okay? We have covered a lot. We have covered lending protocols, which is very basic, okay? What these DeFi protocols can do, the ability to supply idle, money that you're not using, okay, so that you can earn interest on them. Or you can supply, okay, use those financial resources, okay, and put it into a Uniswap, okay, liquidity pool and earn trading fees, all right? Basically, becoming the cryptocurrency exchange, okay, and making a passive income on that. Or then you started to see, okay, different composability factors and DEX aggregators and a centralized exchange, okay, but with the benefits and the security of a decentralized exchange that is Loopring. So much that we have covered. After covering all of that, what does it, how do you actually come into the space? I was speaking with a friend, okay, last night. One of the things he said, Jason, DeFi is really, really good, but it's still very not easy, okay, for people to, there's a long, steep learning curve, okay, to actually get started. So that is why, okay, on day 6, okay, we have invited you're going to learn two very important support infrastructures, I call it, okay, very good companions, okay, to make your DeFi journey more easier, okay. The first one that we're going to cover today is Mu, so, and then followed by Zerion, okay, Zerion. So do stay till the end, okay, for instructions, okay, because the 10 best questions that you ask, okay, to the speakers, okay, today, you potentially, okay, can win $10 off. Today we're giving out ETH, right? So keep your questions, okay, sharp, keep your questions interesting, keep them coming, right? And so let's get started with MyEtherWallet, okay, Mu. So what is Mu? So Mu is not the Pokemon that we all are familiar with and love. No, that's not the Mu that we're talking about. Mu stands for MyEtherWallet, all right? And MyEtherWallet is probably, in my knowledge, okay, if not the first, one of the first, okay, Ethereum wallets to ever exist. Back then, when it was just, Ethereum was just command line if you wanted to interact with it. So MyEtherWallet was the first wallet that I know, okay, in existence since year 2015. They have come a long way today. It has a really good interface, okay. If you visit the website, okay, they have very good documentation on how you can create your first Ethereum wallet, okay, from step by step, from downloading the mobile app, okay, and the instructions are all very clear. It's like 2 minutes you can get it done already, and creating, okay, your PIN and writing down, okay, your backup phrase, your seed phrase, all that is done, okay, in a very, very simple manner. After, when you have created your Ethereum wallet, you don't have Ethereum, right? You're a first-time user. One of the things that they have built in into the wallet is that you can use your credit card or your debit card to instantly buy um, Ether, okay, and like basically topping up, okay, your wallet, like as though like you're buying telephone prepaid, okay, credits and etc., which is like super easy. And then once, okay, you have that wallet, you then have an interface where you can connect, okay, with the various kind of decentralized financial DeFi apps that are available in the DeFi space. So with us today, okay, to share with us, okay, and give us a little bit deeper insight, we're so happy to have the founder himself, the founder and CEO of MyEtherWallet, Kosala Hemachandra, okay, with us today. Thank you so much for being with us at Southeast Asia DeFi Week, Kosala.
Thank you so much for having me, Jason. This is a pleasure.
So Kosala is from Sri Lanka. Okay, it's right now early in the morning there. Thank you. Okay, my first question, okay, for you, Kosala, is is MyEtherWallet the first, okay, Ethereum wallet? Okay, do you claim that?
Actually, no, I should not claim that because there were a couple of wallet interfaces that came up like around the exact same time, including MyEtherWallet. So to be honest, I honestly don't know which one was first. So I'm not gonna be like, no, MyEtherWallet came first.
Okay.
But definitely we were one of the first, and all the other wallet interfaces or wallet services came up with us around that same time, no longer exist. So we survived the 5-year run and 5-year anniversary. Like recently we had that.
Right. So how do you celebrate, okay, the 5-year run, okay, during quarantine?
Oh my goodness. So so usually our team is based in LA, Los Angeles. So I was talking to you before the call, like end of December, I actually visited my mom, and then we also visited Malaysia. And I came to Sri Lanka for like a couple of weeks, and then the quarantine hit, and ever since then I've been stuck in Sri Lanka for a while now. So we usually we celebrate our anniversary by going to Disneyland. So not just Disneyland, like anywhere. So last year we actually went to Disneyland with the whole team. It was amazing.
Wow,
And
which one do you go
in California, the LA
to?
one,
Wow.
Los Angeles. So it was awesome. And then we were planning to do something similar this year, but you know, things happen and didn't work
Yes.
out. Like we are here now. We are stuck. Like everyone that I talk to is stuck in like some country or like stuck in a room in LA. So there's nothing we can do, unfortunately.
Okay.
So we focused on building this year, just
Okay.
building.
All right. So, for the sake of, okay, clarity,
Yeah.
is it known as Mu right now, or is MyEtherWallet? Are you still known as MyEtherWallet?
So that's a really good question. So we like most of you already know, MyEtherWallet started off in 2015 as a wallet interface. So it's still like that's our bread and butter, right? That's where most of our visitors comes in. Like that's what people know us like. Oh, MyEtherWallet Mu is like MyEtherWallet interface, but we are moving away from just being a wallet interface. We are becoming a brand, and we have suite of products, not just like one single website. So MyEtherWallet Web is one of them, and then Mu Wallet is our mobile app. We have the Mu CX, which is our Chrome extension, Mu Connect. So we are moving towards the Mu being a brand and
Okay.
not just one single product.
Right. Okay. Okay. So Mu it is. All right. So
Yes, it is.
my question. Okay, my next question for you is, um, how has Mu changed? Okay, from 2015. Okay, or don't say 2015. Just say just the last 3 years. How has it changed from that to the current version that we
Yeah.
have right now?
That's a really good question. So basically, I have to say, in like when we started, you gave a really good introduction. It was just command line, right? Like people didn't have a way of getting into Ethereum, using Ethereum. So that's when I thought of, hey, like I can put together an interface and then make it extremely simple for people to accomplish. Basically, at then you only had two tasks. You can only do two things in Ethereum: just send a transaction and unlock your wallet. That's basically what you were able to do back then. So in order to accomplish that, I facilitated that, and then like within the past 3 years, definitely like ERC20 standards came up, like ICO happened, ICO craze, so things were like really good. Like that's brought MyEtherWallet to the next level, and that's also when like 2017 is basically when I realized, okay, MyEtherWallet is no longer a developer tool. So that's when we initially created it, it was a developer tool. It was meant for developers. Like that's why it had the like a more like a tool look, not like a user interface look back then. And in 2017, I realized, okay, it's not just for developers, it's actually for regular users to use and accomplish tasks in Ethereum. So from 2018, it was like the building year for us. We revamped the whole thing. We created version 5, and we made like put first couple of steps needed for our mobile app, and like we created a separate blog platform, like specially meant for newcomers, to give them an introduction on like how to navigate through these blockchain waters. So we shifted our focus from a developer-centric product, to a user-centric product. And so now that's our focus, because like if you think of developers versus regular users as a percentage, yes, of course, initially in 2015 or so, like the percentage was very high, right? Like 95% of the users were developers, and like only probably 5% were actual like normal users. And now that has shifted. Now it's the other way around. 95% of them are standard regular users, and like probably 5% or less are developers. So now all of our products actually are very user centric.
So MyEtherWallet is now one of the how do I say, just one of the products, okay, under the new brand, right? Okay, and it's one of those, okay, which is because it's so popular, right? Okay, there's a lot. You guys get a lot of people trying to be you or imitate who you are, right? Okay, so
Yeah.
one thing that I noticed, okay, about what you guys do when people want to download your wallet for the first time, you have this really extensive, okay, step by step that people have to go through in order to have to create their first, okay, wallet safely, okay, so that you
Yeah.
know they have their keys, okay. No. Now, so to answer, okay, one of the community questions right now, okay, is MyEtherWallet, okay, a custodial or non-custodial? Is really a non-custodial wallet, okay. All right, you cannot find another non-custodial wallet that's as non-custodial.
We
as
strongly
MyEtherWallet.
believe in non-custodial wallets. So like we are
Right.
super like believers of that.
So now one of the things, okay, you mentioned the ICO craze in 2017. Okay, there's another craze going on right now, okay, in the last 6 months, which has gained so much traction, and it basically led to us creating this 7-day event, which is
Yeah.
DeFi. What are your thoughts, okay, about what we have seen in the last 6 months on DeFi?
Yeah. So before I answer that question, I actually read some of the comments by the community. So one of them was like, "Oh, he can't afford a good webcam." So I have to answer that before we move on to the next one. Actually, I swear, like before this, I had the whole setup plan. Like ask Jason. Like I had a nice webcam. I was like pretty. Like I had a nice decent view. And then moment before we went live, there was a power cut in like Sri Lanka. So like my whole setup just turned off, and now I'm stuck with the laptop camera and then and my laptop.
I
So
just
speaking,
noticed that. Yes. Okay.
so yeah, ask Jason. I look much better like with the actual webcam setup. So yeah, that's the reason. So I honestly don't know when I'll get cut off, but my laptop seems to be surviving for now.
Okay.
So
All
let's
right.
hope for the best.
Let's push
And
on.
so yeah. So you had a couple of questions, Jason, about like
On,
phishing or like
yeah, phishing.
impersonation, or like do you want to get into like directly DeFi?
Phishing. I think. Let's talk about phishing first. Okay, you have a
Okay.
lot of people trying to basically misrepresent themselves, get people to create wallets. Okay, uh, on a fake MyEtherWallet product. Okay,
Yeah.
so that they can run away with the money, right?
Yeah.
How have you guys been managing that over the last years?
So basically, yeah. So from starting from like 2015, like 2017 was the worst, right? Like we started getting, because of the ICOs and everything, we started getting more and more phishing websites that look alike to MyEtherWallet, and they'll figure out some ways to communicate with the potential victim and then send them to these fake websites and then like steal their keys. So we saw that problem. So this is what like really good, or like I'm really impressed about like MyEtherWallet and MyEtherWallet team. So we have this approach. We look at a problem and then we come up with a solution. So in
Yeah.
2018, that's exactly what we did. We came up with Mu Connect, which is our hardware wallet without all the hardware. That's what we call it. It's discontinued now. I'll tell you why. Mu Connect is basically like you can convert your phone to a hardware wallet, or like a wallet inside your phone. But like, yes, there are a lot of skeptics around it, because like, hey, like your phone is connected to the internet, so what? It's not a hardware wallet. It's not isolated. I totally agree. Actually, most of the modern phones, they have a blockchain or secure enclave, including iPhones and Android phones. And for example, the Samsung even has a blockchain secure enclave. Like it's meant for blockchain related products. And and most of the other phones are like also headed in that direction. So we were able to accomplish what we want to accomplish with an isolated environment or isolated chip inside your phone, to provide users with a secure encryption, or like encryption, decryption, or signing method for their wallet. And it was really successful. Like I'm pretty sure, like because we had about by the time we discontinued it, like we had about like 500,000 users on it. And the main reason why we discontinued it is because we replaced it with Mu Wallet, our mobile application, which is full featured. So meaning it's not just a hardware wallet anymore. You can use it with other things, like you can send transactions. That's what Jason described initially, like at the beginning of the conversation. So yeah, that was the main reason for replacing this. And also the one of the reasons why we created such a product, it's because users are really into instant gratification. Like it's a really good example, right? Like recently what happened with Yam, and all this, like some of these other like DeFi projects, or like even ICOs, they want in right away, and they want like they don't want to have FOMO, like they don't want to miss out. So that's why, unfortunately, like some, yes, of course, some people can afford a hardware wallet, but they don't want to wait like 7 gets your house or like gets your place. So they want, that's, I think, like personally, I think that's what one of the reasons why they get into these like phishing attacks, or like be victim of these attacks, because they look for quick ways to like accomplish what they want to accomplish. And that's what we did. We created an app that they can just simply download and be secure. So they don't have to worry about anything else. They don't have to worry about like shipping or anything. And it's free.
Right.
It's not costly.
Right.
So
Now,
yeah, that's exactly how we approach that problem.
is it true that you have, okay, two security companies to basically take down fake MyEtherWallet replicas? Okay.
Yes.
And to date, okay, that you have taken down more than 20,000 websites, okay, who claim to be MyEtherWallet. Is that true?
Yes, yes. It's probably more than that, because now it has become part of like the norm, because they monitor potential. So in order to take down a website, they have to monitor potential like MyEtherWallet, or like like some people have MyEtherWallet with like 3 Ls, and but it's not necessarily a good claim to take down unless they're actually impersonating, until they actually publish a website on it.
Right.
So
Okay.
that's why. So they're actively, even right now, they're actively monitoring more than 2,600 websites, names like that, and waiting to see whether they'll ever impersonate or actually publish a website that look like to MyEtherWallet or one of the MyEtherWallet products. And then moment that happens, that's when they file the copyright violation claims and then take down the websites. And I have a Telegram channel that constantly like send me notifications every, I would say, uh, at least one notification every 30 minutes or so. So like that means that's a like either a new website found or there was a new website takedown. So yeah, it's constantly happening.
So if you don't receive a notification, you think that something's wrong, right?
Right?
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I said it became a norm now.
Right. Okay. I think there's a it's a very timely moment, okay, to just do a quick PSA that there is no stopping, okay, people from creating fake websites, but it's really easy to identify them.
Yeah.
This is part of the reason, okay, why it's considered a lot of high risk, okay, in this case, because there's just a lot of people who are incentivized to do bad things, okay, and steal your money. So you need to be in very, very high alert, okay. Don't buy into get rich quick schemes, get rich quick promises, okay.
Yeah.
That's the number one red flag, okay. No, MyEtherWallet is not giving away like 1 Ether, okay, every second, you know, okay, to the first 100 people, and if you send 2 Ether, okay, you get 1 Ether, something like that. No, that doesn't work. All right, okay. So let's talk about DeFi now. So DeFi
Yeah.
has dominated, okay. I would say it has dominated Ethereum. The two things, okay, that are gas guzzling right now is scams and DeFi, right?
Yeah.
So on the side, okay, on DeFi, right? That has taken hold, okay, of the entire network in the last 6 months. We've seen like parabolic growth. What do you make of that? Okay, I think this is a three-part question, okay, and let's take it one by one. The first question is, what do you think, okay, about DeFi, okay, and how do you see, has this like recent development change, okay, any of your plans, okay, for Mu, okay, in the next 6 months?
Yeah, definitely it did. Like we realized there's a huge DeFi related growth around Ethereum like a couple of months back. Not actually, like at least 4 or 5 months back. And we've refocused. So right now, the version of MyEtherWallet that you see, version 5, is feature locked. So we are not adding any new features to it. And we are actively working on our version 6, which should come out pretty soon. And then that version is completely DeFi focused. And we will have more integrations. Like I see like some of the comments are already like coming up about Aave and Ren integration, and like a lot more are in line. And we are also, by the way, like my laptop says critically low, but like if I go off in here, I'll join from my phone. We'll make it work.
Okay.
Yeah, so some of the integrations, and then we are heavily focusing on DeFi and like.
Did we lose him? I think we just lost Kosala. Yeah. All right. So we covered quite a lot. Okay. Guys, keep your questions coming in. Okay, as well. Because Kosala will be back. Okay. And you guys have asked really, really good questions. Okay. I think the question of why can't Kosala, okay, afford a good camera is definitely going to be one of the top 10. I suspect. Okay. Right. So let's talk a little bit, okay, about what's the most important thing, okay, to know, okay, is that MyEtherWallet is a non-custodial wallet. It has one of the most complete, okay, step-by-step beginner guides, okay, to ensure that you know that your coins, okay, that when you create your wallet, okay, your coins belong to you. So was that check out MyEtherWallet if you do not have one yet. Okay, the user experience is phenomenal. Okay, Kosala is back.
I'm back. You guys can hear me, right?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Awesome. So basically what I was saying, yeah, MyEtherWallet will be a lot more DeFi focused. And we see a clear pattern. Like I really like what you mentioned earlier, Jason, about like you talking to a friend and how he was saying how DeFi is still complicated and
The barrier,
like it's
is steep learning curve.
yes, totally agree. No, I totally believe in that. I think DeFi is a good concept, and at the same time, it's overhyped right now. So people are jumping in like upside down, and we've seen it in like the last couple of weeks as well in like some of these DeFi projects. But the concept is that like actually it's a really good, like really forward-thinking, future-proof plan, and we are going there slowly. It'll take us some time to fully realize what it can accomplish and how to incorporate it into our day-to-day lives. But that's like making it easy and creating a good user experience, giving users with a good user interface. That's what like MyEtherWallet and other wallet services similar to MyEtherWallet are capable of, and that's what we are like actively building and actively want to accomplish and going forward with.
Okay. So let's take some questions right now. Are there any tools that people can do with MyEtherWallet pertaining to ETH 2.0 staking? Okay, can they do that directly from their wallet?
Not as of right now, and we haven't announced. So we are in discussion with a couple of protocols or like couple of companies, organizations that are providing this as a service, and we will integrate it either like before ETH 2.0 staking or Beacon Chain staking come out, or right after it. So we are definitely in talks with people because we want to create, like right now, the way you have to do it, you have to like download the app. Download the validator, download like the staking thing, and then have a fully synced chain and all that. So it's like, in my opinion, it's complicated and we cannot ask users to do all that. So we want to have a third party, a reputable third party, manage it, and still it be non-custodial, so people have the full control of their stake and still earn interest over it.
So there's one question I think that's coming in from the Philippines, and I think it's along the lines that people who are already in DeFi right now are pretty spoiled because they have a lot of options as to what kind of wallets that they can choose to use. There is like Argent, there is MetaMask, there is Dharma. The question that they is that looking at the current landscape, what sets MyEtherWallet apart, Kosala, in your opinion?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So that's why, so we initially, like I mentioned, so we initially started off just being a wallet interface, and then we converted MyEtherWallet from MyEtherWallet to Mew, and Mew as a brand, and then we are creating a suite of products. The competition, or like the actual, I don't actually consider the other wallets as a competition because it's not what, like true decentralization also means giving users options, right? So they have the option to choose whatever the wallet interface they like to use and accomplish their task. And we have to be good enough to give users a better user experience. So that's what I think, like if there's a competition, that's what all these interfaces are competing against. So I honestly think it's a good thing because like as a community, as an ecosystem, we can move forward because of like having multiple choices. And from a MyEtherWallet side of things, we are always going after like problem and solution way of thinking. So whenever we see a problem, we come up with a solution and we give that solution to the users. And that's what we've done in the past, and that's what like we're accomplishing in the future. And our way of playing a part in this Ethereum community is providing not just wallet interfaces, providing other tools and services that are necessary to take Ethereum to the next level.
It's so we have a question, okay, from I think it's from Jet from Malaysia, and he's asking the question. One of the biggest problems that people are having right now, clearly, because Ethereum is like the demand for Ethereum is so high, is the gas, right? Is there a role that wallet providers or among your suite of products that you're creating that can help to alleviate the problem of high gas fees?
So yeah, to be honest, from an on-chain perspective, we won't have low gas fees or like a properly scalable solution until like full ETH 2.0 comes out. But there are layer 2 solutions like ZK rollup and Loopring also, I believe one of them. So we are in talk with them. So we will partner with either one or like multiple of them to provide our users with a solution where they can like most of these transactions will happen like, for example, off chain, and then like one verification transaction goes to on chain, and then smart contract can take care of it from there onwards. So in the short term, that's like the only solution I see for this problem, the layer 2 solutions. But said that, I'm really like excited about full ETH 2.0, when we can process more than like 20,000 or more transactions per second. And that's where we are headed. So don't be discouraged by the gas prices right now. Just think of it as a early barrier to something that is amazing and never done before.
Yeah. What's that? Some got comments, okay, coming in saying Loopring, okay. I think they had a really good session, okay, last Friday when Matt, okay, from Loopring, okay, did a presentation explaining about ZK rollups and all that. It'll be like so cool, okay, to actually be able to interact with Loopring via the MyEtherWallet, okay, mobile app, okay. One of the comments says.
Would love to.
So another thing, okay, that I picked up in one of your past AMAs, right? Okay, it's regarding to regulation, right? As a wallet, as one of the, how do I say, major, okay, Ethereum wallets, non-custodial wallets, are you concerned, okay, about regulatory? Do you have any regulatory pressures, okay, for people using, okay, the MyEtherWallet? Because we, I think, across Southeast Asia, Malaysia included, Malaysia is having a dialogue soon, okay, with the Securities Commission about wallet regulation. So my question, okay, is that, is there any impact, okay, to MyEtherWallet? Is there any if there's one thing, okay, that could improve, okay, the regulatory environment, okay, for wallet providers, what would that be?
So basically, yes, we did get some inquiries from regulatory authorities in US, and I think like being in US and like being a US company helps a little bit, because like they have a direct way of communicating and they have a direct way of like basically tracking our income and outgoing, right? But like from a user perspective, we take user privacy really seriously. So we don't track anything other than the public information available on the chain, right? So even if when they come to us and be like, hey, like give us information for user XYZ or like 0xABC or whatever the address is, we don't have that information to give it to them. We basically don't track users, and we That's our like motto, right? We don't want to be in that position, and if we don't have the data, there's no way for us to give the data. And so that's why we've said it multiple times in the past, and like only data that we have are like the publicly available information on Ethereum blockchain, and we simply direct them to a blockchain explorer or something out there that can give them information on exactly the information we have. So that's one way of tackling this. And the other way can be just being on top of, like, if you are like thinking of a company that actually tracks the users. Unfortunately, like if you're, for example, if you're based in the US, or like a country that can have regulatory, like have centralized authorities enforce certain restrictions on you, then you have to obey it, and don't try to run away from it, because at the end of the day you'll get in trouble. And like as founders and owners, you don't want to be in that position. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Another question, okay, from the audience is from Stephen. Stephen asks, how do I confirm or know that I am downloading the correct products, okay, on my mobile phone?
Yeah, so just like always, this is not just applicable to MyEtherWallet or any of the new products. Like if you're downloading, if you're going to the App Store, always use either the App Store or the Play Store on either like iOS or Android platforms. So they have their own ways of like restricting certain products from stealing user information or it's stealing user data. And then look at certain things, right? Look at the number of comments that product has. And if you want, you can just go ahead and start reading comments. And like some of these phishing apps, they have the exact same comment posted multiple times. So that's like a big no-no flag for you. You should be able to know, okay, like why is someone like posting the exact same, like multiple people posting the exact same comment? And the other one is the number of downloads. So like actual products, the real products will have a higher number of downloads than fake phishing products, which will only like have about, I don't know, 50 to 100, or it's like somewhere around like a really small number of downloads. And the from our end of things, we are actively monitoring Play Store and App Store for lookalike apps, and we are taking them down on an actively daily basis. So it should not, like, there shouldn't be an app that has like more than 100 or 200 downloads maximum, because like by the time it gets to the App Store, we are already in the work to take it down. So within like probably like a couple of hours, that app will be gone.
Okay, so we have one more question, okay, coming from Yong. Yong,
Yeah.
I think he asked a question more coming from, because there's so many things happening simultaneously, okay, people are actively building. It's really hard to keep up with who is building what, okay? So this question is for you as to what is Mu building, okay, over the next 6 months, 1 year, 2 year roadmap? What is it like? What do people get to look forward to?
Yeah. So that's like really true, because like even if I'm struggling to keep track of all the like groups building different dApps and like different protocol upgrades. And sometimes like in some of the podcasts I get asked, hey, like what do you think about this?
YAM.
And I'm like, what?
What do you think about Ampleforth or YAM or what's that, Based?
Yeah, like what is that? I'm like, wait,
Or
what?
me, the pineapple token, okay, that just, in 12 hours.
Oh,
Amazing.
no way. I didn't know. No, I had no idea about that. See, I'm glad you didn't ask me about that.
So for purpose of clarity, okay, since the audiences are listening in right now, okay, if like what are the maybe 1, 2, or maybe 3 things, okay, that Mu is focusing on building right now?
Yeah. So Mu is definitely working on version 6, our like next version, which is the Mu Web, that is heavily focused on DeFi and making like passive income for our users. So people will have like, yeah, I know, right? people will be able to actually earn interest or income from their holdings. So I'm really excited about that. And we are also working on a blockchain explorer, which is like really user-centric or user-focused blockchain explorer that should come out pretty soon. And there are like multiple new upgrades coming to our new wallet, which is our mobile application, and which I'm really excited about. And there are a couple more things that are coming out, but I'm not gonna
Okay.
just tell them
All
right
right.
now. I don't
Okay.
want to, you know.
Sure. Yeah, manage expectations. But I am
Yes.
curious, what do you mean, okay, by user-centric blockchain explorer? What is that, okay, compared to what we already have with Etherscan?
Yeah, so I know, oh my goodness, I don't know why I said that. Anyway, so it's fine, it's fine. I already said it, I'm just gonna go forward with it. So, so from like a while back, we have some users who wants to see a different view on like their wallet or like their account, right? Like basically, more like something. So for example, with like all the other explorers out there, there are like ton of explorers right now for Ethereum. And from that, what I understand and what some of the users understand is like it's a little bit technical. So it's not exactly easy for people to understand, okay, what happened, like where,
It's true.
what does this transaction do, and why does it say 0 ETH, but like I actually got like 100 whatever, like USDT tokens with this transaction. Like there are some confusing, complicated points in existing blockchain explorers. So that's why we decided to jump in and create a blockchain explorer that is more user focused, user centric, and like give them a better understanding or outlook, an overview of their account. So it is our way of um, help or seeing again, like seeing a problem and coming up with a solution for that.
Okay. So we have, okay, uh, mu beta. Is this just a quick one? All right.
Yeah,
Do you own this one? Is this the correct one?
mu beta.
Okay, I think, okay, this one we'll take it offline. Okay, someone we'll review this later. Okay, and we ask them later and see whether
Okay.
is it correct. All right. Right now, we are able to do token swap from Mu. Is Mu looking to allow us to manually put in the token address to perform swap directly from Mu?
We do token swap. Is me looking into allowing us to manually put in the token address to perform? So if I'm understanding this question correctly, you might be asking like, so we have list of tokens that people can swap to. Maybe you're asking whether we will allow eventually for someone to put the destination token by manually, like the token address, and then swap it directly. Unfortunately, I don't think that will be an option, especially because it might complicate the process for not for advanced users. I'm pretty sure you'll understand it, but like for some of the users that we have in our platform, it might be complicated, it might be confusing, and so we want to create solutions that are uh, basically bulletproof. Like you can only choose one way, and then at the end of the end of that tunnel, or once you finish that process, you'll end up having what you initially expected to have. So
Okay.
if we like by giving a user's manual option, it might complicate it.
Okay. So we have about like 5 more minutes, okay, together, right? Before we move on to the next session, I'd like to ask, what's that? Uh, the last question, okay, it's for you to ask, okay, the community back, right? Like, what can we do to help Mu right now? What does Mu need right now? Okay, how can we help you? How can the people listening in from Philippines, from Indonesia, from Singapore, from Vietnam, from Thailand, and from Malaysia help you right now? What do you need? Hello?
Let us know what what features, what problems. If you see any problems, feel free. Like my personal email address is kvhnuke@myetherwallet.com. Just feel free to email me, send me emails. Like if you see, because we are in this together, we want to create a solution that'll take Ethereum to the next level, and that's what all of us want. With like all these solutions, right? It can be DeFi, it can be like ENS, it can be like interest earning solutions. Like with everything, all this, we need a decentralized finance, or we want to let users have control of their own funds. So that's what we all want, and we're all in this together. So, and MyEtherWallet is not perfect. So I'm always ready to learn about our problems and fix those problems and move forward as a team. So, and that in that team, all of you belongs in that team as well. So yeah, feel free to message me and let me know your thoughts, features, that like requests you have, and even like if you see a problem and like if you see some like one of our team members or like support team not responding or something, just message me, and I will do my best to justify and clarify and fix that issue.
All right. Where's the most conversation happening right now? Which is because every project, okay, has their favorite communication vehicle or communication channel. Where is the community, okay, for Mu happening the most? Is it Discord? Is it in Telegram?
So we internally, like within our team, like the developer team and the MyEtherWallet team, we use Telegram to do all the communications. We do have a Telegram channel, but it's a channel, so people cannot like write back. I would say if you actually would like to directly communicate with us, it'll be best place will be either Reddit, subreddit MyEtherWallet, or just directly emailing us. We want to keep our communication methods to a minimal amount, like fewer amounts, so we have control over like the support tickets and requests that we get. And also our Twitter account, which is @MyEtherWallet. But since the Twitter hack happened on July 15th, we lost we didn't lose control. Like for some reason, like on that specific day, our Twitter account became inaccessible. So we are like trying to reach out to Twitter as much as possible. So if any one of you know like a staff member or like someone from Twitter, please let me know, because we're trying to like get access back. So once we have that, like Twitter will be the other best place to communicate with us.
All right. Okay. With that, okay. Thank you so much again, okay, Kosala, for joining us for 1 hour of your time. Okay. Early in the morning in Sri Lanka. Really appreciate it. Okay. To the community out there, if you want, okay, to feedback, what are the kind of features that you want to see on MyEtherWallet on all the other new products? Okay, you can voice them out, okay, by participating in the subreddits, okay, of Mu. We'll drop the links, okay, in the comment section below later. All right, and thank you, Kosala, for being here, being part of this.
Thank you so much, Jason. It's been a pleasure. I really enjoyed this AMA session, and thank you like everyone who joined the session and asked me questions, and I'm really happy.
All right. Okay. So we're going to move on to the next subject matter. Okay, and we're going to be talking about.
Right.
But we're going to be talking about Zerion. Okay, right now. So what is Zerion? Very quickly, this is kind of like really cool. Okay, if you visit their website, that's the statement that they make. Okay, better than your bank. Right. And as a user myself, I am actually very happy using Zerion. I really like what they're building. It makes the entire DeFi user experience really easy. Okay. what you have to do basically is that when you have an Ethereum wallet address like MyEtherWallet, okay, you just connect your wallet address from the website, and then what will happen is that it would populate, okay, a dashboard, okay, based on whatever transactions that you have done in the past, okay, all in a nice, seamless, beautiful interface where you can see all your assets, what you have done, your history, where you're done with it. And that's what I know Zerion as, but it is actually a lot more than that. And to help us to understand deeper, okay, what are the capabilities, okay, of what Zerion can do, I'm very happy, okay, that we have the co-founder of Zerion himself, Yevgeny Yutev, to be with us today. Yevgeny, are you here with us? Thank you so much for being with us today.
Hey, Jason. Thanks so much for the kind words and great introduction. Really good to be here.
All right. So my first question to you, Yevgeny, is about 10 months ago, before DeFi became a sexy word, I saw a video, okay, of you introducing what you were building, and you describe yourself as a DeFi native, even before DeFi became sexy. Can you please share with the audience right now, okay, what do you mean by you are DeFi native?
Thanks. That's a great question. I don't remember saying that, but I definitely have, I guess. So the reason I said that is that DeFi native, what I meant is that these are users who are directly interacting with whatever is happening on the blockchain. So I kind of I dislike centralized exchanges since the moment they originated, simply for the reason that they were kind of like a partial solution. So the hybrid solution to there's like this new brave new world which is Web3 and all the different concepts and blockchain based applications, and there's like an old world with Web2. So centralized exchanges were kind of in the middle, and I never liked using them myself because it was like one step in the game. But DeFi native, what I meant is that users who are native to this new Web3 infrastructure. So that's what I mean by that.
Okay. So the second question, okay, that I'd like to ask you, okay, is how did you come into this space? How do you come into DeFi before DeFi was a thing? Can you share, okay, what was your story, okay, before you created Zerion?
Yeah, for sure. So I actually started myself in the Ethereum space since the beginning. So I was really fascinated by the white paper that was like back in 2014. Yeah, so it was just for me much better than Bitcoin, simply because I kind of viewed Bitcoin as a calculator and Ethereum as a computer to me. And being a developer myself, I realized that it's very much, it's going to be groundbreaking whenever it's released, and if it works out, it's going to be huge. So that was my thinking behind kind of like joining the movement, and I've stayed in the space since then. We did when we were starting out the company, we were doing many different things. So we started off by like writing Solidity code, helping other companies bootstrap their blockchain based games, funds, ICO. So we were doing a whole bunch of things, mainly on the dApp side and smart contract side. But then we're just following whatever projects were available in the space. We liked Uniswap a lot, and we liked Maker. And the emergence of DAI was, I think, one of the big milestones for the ecosystem, just because DAI was, this ability to stay in the crypto space without completely leaving if you want to hedge against the yeah. So that was, I think.
Yeah.
Sorry, what's that?
No, I said hashtag stay in crypto. Yeah, I totally agree with what you said.
Yes, that's my thinking. So essentially, I started to understand that the DeFi ecosystem is going to emerge into a fully featured financial space, or like financial market. It was very nascent, but when it hit, we realized that it's going to stay and going to be proliferating. So that's how we got in. Decided so other people, I guess, were thinking along the same lines. So set protocol was one of the, I think Dharma as well, and DYDX, as far as I remember, were made this joint statement about this word DeFi, and we're like, oh, now there's a word for that, so we should join the movement. So that's how it happened.
So when did the concept or the idea of to create Zerion actually came about?
So it was
How old is the
around the
project?
same time. Yeah,
Around the same
so
time.
it was around the same time we started exploring the DeFi ecosystem. We just realized that first of all, it's completely unusable for a normie. Let's put it this
Yes.
way. So it was just like in the first version of Maker, you had to do 7 transactions to open a CDP. So that was the
Yeah.
case, and then Uniswap was fairly easy, but still people were not really understanding what's going on, and the apps were not user friendly at all. So this is how we came to this idea that, by aggregating multiple different services together and putting them, in a single dashboard, that is going to make things easier. So we noticed that more protocols. So with the emergence of Compound, we understood that, now you have 2 protocols that do similar things. I wouldn't say the same thing, but you can borrow on both of these platforms. And for the user, it's completely like, it's not transparent which one you should choose, and how would you go about opening a CDP versus opening a loan on Compound. So we decided that there is a space for an aggregator here, so helping users navigate the space, talk about being very transparent about the yields, about the how much like interest they pay for different opportunities, and just benefiting the user from this aggregation. So essentially, this is how we started thinking, and that's how Zerion as an idea emerged.
So now one of the things, okay, that was very interesting, okay, that I've heard you spoken this before, which is that you said that DeFi is better than fintech, or is the new fintech? What
Yeah,
was
it
that?
is the new fintech. Yeah.
DeFi is the new fintech.
Yes. Yeah, we essentially we were just trying to. This idea came from a blog article that we were putting out, Zerion. So we were thinking, how do we present this? How do we explain DeFi to someone who is new to the space, right? So like, yes, you can say a lot of different words that it runs on smart contracts, it runs on blockchain, and but for many people that is not relatable. And we were just trying to tie it back to something that tangible and people know about. So fintech seemed like something that is in a way similar, because it's like similar to financial technology, which is DeFi is. But with this topic, I just wanted to go deeper and to exploring why is that the case, and why DeFi is going to either completely replace. I think it's kind of going to eat the fintech space, in my view. Simply
Wow.
because just the the opportunity is huge.
Now, that is an extremely bold statement, but that is not the first time that I'm hearing, okay, this statement, because I think just last week there was a CoinDesk article written by Leah from, I think she's based in the Philippines, that was talking precisely on this. Okay, I believe that you actually have something to share with us, okay, on to elaborate on this further, right? So I'm going to put up the slides.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Let me just start them off.
And take it away.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, just to kind of confirm the statement, I wanted to run quickly through the slides and expand on my view about DeFi being the new fintech. I called it here again boldly, true innovation in finance, and I truly believe that's the case. So in my view, the fintech, it did kind of push a bit in terms of improving on the financial technology, but essentially DeFi is going to completely change the landscape in my view. So, and I'm gonna talk about this today. So let's see. Yeah. So to start off, I wanted to talk briefly about aggregation theory by Ben Thompson. So essentially, this theory explains the impact of the internet on the any consumer market essentially. So before internet, the hardest problem was actually in distribution. So By that I mean the hardest problem was getting something in the hands of the users. While after the internet, the biggest problem became aggregation and curation of all the supply that is available, simply because the supply is starting to increase dramatically whenever the distribution cost is going down. So essentially, just to briefly talk about any consumer market, it consists of three different things. So first, there are users, as you can see on the right. There is supply. It can be anything like content or different like websites or other things, or like suppliers of goods. And then there is distribution, so how you get this supply to the demand. And yeah, so going to, I just wanted to go through like a quick example here. So before the internet, newspaper market kind of looked like that. So you had article creators and writers, or they can be independent or like in agencies, and they would go to newspapers to be published. And because the distribution was the hardest problem, newspapers were actually integrating back into supply, and they were actually controlling whatever is being written. While readers were not given too much options because they were just reading the newspaper that is delivered locally. So that's the state of the market before the internet. And then what happened with the emergence of the internet, you have now Google, and all the content is now on demand. So users are now just Googling whatever they want to see, and the content immediately appears. What that creates is that the supply is essentially modularized, and now you have a bunch of different content creators, and they can easily, that's the crucial point, they can easily access the readers through Google. Similar example goes to the music industry. So before, you had artists and singers as the supply side, and the normal listeners of this music as the users. And the labels were distributing the songs and everything back to the listeners. And what happened with the internet, platforms like Spotify emerged, and they were able to capture all the kind of like connect the demand to the supply, and again create this on-demand opportunity to listen to anything that is available. So what does it tell us? So essentially, the impact of the internet is bringing the distribution costs down. That's the first big thing. So now the supply can easily and cheaply get to the users. And then at the same time, the transaction costs were going much down, because you essentially can go on the internet, open any website, and you instantly have access to whatever it is that you need. And that leads, again, as I said, to modularization of supply. And for the users, that's great, because essentially now users are they become the best priority for both distributors and suppliers. So for the suppliers, they are interested in creating the best content, let's say, out there, because users can instantly find it anyways. And for distributors, is that because now you have this tremendous network effect that people that these platforms are trying to capture, and there's a huge competition in terms of the UX and how you navigate and curate this vast supply. Let's come back quickly to the current state of finance. So essentially, right now, it's extremely localized and heavily restricted. In a way, it does look like the newspaper market before it was disrupted by the internet. Unfortunately, though, the financial market was not disrupted yet, only to a certain extent. So as I was saying in the beginning of the presentations, fintech was trying to transform the financial market, but essentially what it was able to do, it was just only to optimize what is already available. So fintech did not completely change everything. It did decrease the transaction cost and in some way distribution cost, but it didn't bring it to zero. And essentially, this creating the supply in the fintech space is as hard as, let's say, starting a new bank. So starting a new fintech company is really hard because of all of the barriers that you face on the way.
Right.
What changes now, though, is with the appearance of DeFi, now you can finally talk about the financial space being truly disrupted. So DeFi, what it does, in addition to what fintech was able to provide over the internet, is that now developers can easily create supply as they will, so using code. And they can also stack it on top of other things that other people built in the DeFi space. So let's talk about that in more detail. So first of all, DeFi is interoperable. So it makes the ability to exchange and make use of information across systems. That's the definition of interoperability. What it means, though, is that different system, different components, they work together, and you can use, let's say, one, to give a more concrete example, your wallet, your Web3 wallet. You can go to any website that supports Web3, and now you have all of the things that come together with that. So identity, your money, your history of transactions, and all together, and they work seamlessly with whatever dApp you're visiting. Second, I think one of the most important bits is that it's programmable, and programmable means that it's extendable. It's kind of like this concept of building layered code that can be tested thoroughly, and you can be sure that the components of that code work nicely, and then you can build stuff that is much, much larger than one single application. And that is not possible with the current finance because it's based on other, like it is in a way possible, but it is not testable because it's not written in the code. So that's the big problem of the current finance. And then composable is that essentially these pieces, they not only work, different components work together, but they can be stacked on top of each other, just like on the, that's why this the concept of money Lego came about in the DeFi space, that these components can be stacked on top of each other and work perfectly and seamlessly together. Yeah, so quickly I wanted to talk about first application of what emerged in the DeFi space and what kind of gave rise to the DeFi space in general is stablecoins. So it's as Lloyd Kerner puts it, stablecoins today are largely just digitizing dollars, which means that it kind of feels like uploading a photo to the internet. So before, if you had like an analog picture of something, this is how it feels when you're holding $1 or even holding that in your bank account. It's not really powerful, but as soon as you transition that and change that to something like DAI or USDC, it becomes a fully digital version of this dollar, and that feels amazing. So the supply of I would have to update this chart every day now, but like it's probably more than 9 billion right now. But essentially, this is the total supply of different stablecoins, and it's been growing quite significantly, and USDT is leading this effort. But we see that there's definitely a product market fit for stablecoins on the blockchain, and I think that trend is going just to continue. Just to add to that, so using and buying some USDC does feel like uploading $1 to the internet. This is just to kind of complement whatever the Lloyd Kerner put about the digitizing dollars. Next, I wanted to talk about developer-friendly finance, so DeFi being developer-friendly. I think that's one of the biggest and most important components of DeFi being transformational in the DeFi space. So I wanted to give like a few examples of projects that were bootstrapped with almost zero funding. As you can see, Uniswap is one of the leading trading protocols. It started from like a single research paper, I believe by Vitalik or someone before that even, and built in like a few hundred lines of code. 1inch again, or Curve, they were building on top of what Uniswap was creating and then expanding that idea. These are very small teams, so like 1 or 2 people, being able to create something huge and meaningful. So 1inch did more than 1 billion in trading volume, and Curve now has, with the latest token that they released, they now have more than 1 billion deposits and amount of money locked in their protocol. So that's quite amazing. And InstantApp and Tornado Cash are also projects that started from the hackathons, which is amazing. So it's similar to just to give you a sense of how quickly the ecosystem is developing. Over 100 DeFi projects were built during the 30-day virtual hackathon in May. So that scale is unprecedented for the fintech space. It's very hard to build something meaningful in the DeFi space, in the fintech space in a single month. Yeah, and in terms of the sophistication of the DeFi ecosystem, I think it's been over the last year, it's been a proliferation of different instruments. So the ecosystem matured really, really quickly. So it started off by just having stable coins, a very simple and but powerful concept. But it ended up having all the components of pretty much like most of the components of a sophisticated financial market, starting from spot trading all the way to futures, options, and fixed income products, hopefully soon. Yeah, this is the number of DeFi tokens created. As you can see, it's an exponential growth right now. So a lot of new assets are being created every single day. So majority of that are just balancer pools or Uniswap pools. But then if I were to remove this from the graph, you'd also see a bunch of set tokens created, and balancer and curve pools and compound market as well. So the ecosystem is actually increasing at the accelerating pace, and that is confirmed by the number of users you see in the DeFi space. The curve is again exponential. We do see Zerion as well. We also see exponential growth in a couple months in the latest 2 months. So it's been a crazy ride, and I think it's just the beginning. This one chart I wanted to feature that it's a bit outdated, I think, but right now it's even more in terms of the number of money, the amount of money people made, projects made in the DeFi space. So these are analyzed earnings by all the DeFi projects, and yes, right now they are earning more than $50 million over the year. So that is still small, but remarkable that right now there is a potential for the ecosystem to start generating revenue, and that's quite interesting. This is by August 3rd. This is like way. I forgot to update this number, but essentially right now it's about 19 billion, I believe. I just checked today with a new Curve token launch. So the total market cap is. I would have to update it every single day to keep it up, but yeah, it did increase 3 times since May, and already like 2 times or like 3 times since August 3rd. So it is getting crazy. So jump on board. And lastly, I just wanted to talk quickly about Zerion. We probably will have a chance to talk more about Zerion, right? So right now on the AMA. Yeah, Jason?
Right.
Yeah, but
Yes, definitely.
briefly, sure. So with Zerion, we recently launched. So Jason already did a good introduction of what Zerion does. So we are your window and gateway to DeFi. So you can see all of your assets. You can see you can buy different tokens from Zerion. You can track your history of all the actions you did through any platform essentially. And yeah, now we just released a new update where you can explore asset prices of all different pools, tokens, yield farming opportunities, etc. And soon you'll be able to track all of that. To buy all of these opportunities directly through Zerion. So stay tuned for that. And we also have a mobile app that's been growing quite wildly in a couple last months. So people love checking their portfolio on the go. So yeah, if you have an Ethereum wallet and you want to see and keep up with your DeFi portfolio, just go ahead and download our mobile app. Just simply add your wallet, and you can track whatever returns you have and whatever assets you have on your wallet. Yep. So that's it. Thank you.
All right. Wow, that is like so super cool. So first and foremost, thank you so much. Okay, I think you covered a lot of like really important golden nuggets. Okay, really well. Okay, just to recap. Okay, a summary. Like what makes DeFi okay so composable. Okay, you talked about the money Legos. You talked about the difference. Okay, of how different it is, how refreshing it is, okay, that if you want to innovate in the existing fintech space, there's so many compliance issues or regulatory barriers, okay, that you have to licensing, requirements that you have to go through just to run an experiment which you do not know whether is it going to work, is it going to get product market fit, you don't know, right? But what we are seeing in the DeFi space is that when this guy built something and that guy built something, like really cool, let's put it together and see whether it will work. Okay, let's take ample forth,
Yeah.
let's take compound, let's take Earth's distribution model and create a fruit or a vegetable called yam, right? And so that's how, and the speed. And the second thing, okay, that is very, very apparent from your sharing earlier is the speed, okay, which this is growing. I particularly took away the hackathon as an example, okay, in terms of 100 DeFi projects, okay, were created, okay, in a single month. And the amount of traction, okay, that money, I totally get what you mean. When we launch, okay, promoting this 7-day event, right? The numbers, okay, was what you showed earlier, which was about like 4 billion. And then just a few days later, it doubled to 8 billion. And then, as the week went on, okay, then it just basically keep on growing and growing. Anyways,
Yeah.
well done,
I should
okay.
give up updating the number.
So it's just what it is right now, okay? Now, before people FOMO in, okay, still the same thing. Disclaimer: none of this is financial advice. As we take an investment advice, it just is what it is right now. DeFi is growing really at an alarming rate, accelerated pace. It's very, very interesting. Here are the reasons why, okay? But do tread carefully, okay? Do your research. Watch the previous 5-day videos. Okay, learn each and every protocol so that you have a very clear understanding of what's going on. Now, back to Zerion, right? Okay, after, okay, you actually know what DeFi protocols to use and etc., and you do not know how to manage it, Zerion becomes a very, very useful tool, okay, to keep track of what you've been doing, okay, and where your assets are. But that's not just what Zerion is, isn't it? Not just a portfolio management tool, right? Okay, Yevgeny, you are trying to create something more, right? Can you please share with us, okay, what's the end goal that you're trying to create using with your product?
Yeah,
What's the end goal?
sure. That's a really good question. So I think our vision with Zerion goes a really long way here. We're aiming at something that is, again, just to reiterate on the competition between kind of DeFi and fintech. So fintech is optimizing whatever we have available currently in the DeFi space, or sorry, in the financial space. But DeFi is building this new, brave new world. And what we're trying to achieve is that we're building an investment application that is widely and globally accessible, built on this new financial infrastructure. So if you were to take an example, let's say the closest one would be something like Robinhood or Charles Schwab, for the ones who know that. So, but these products, even though they are, some of them are pretty good in terms of the UX and availability, Robinhood is still only accessible to the users in the US. And then products like Revolut, for instance, they are accessible in Europe, and still it's a very limited number of countries. While the opportunities and the money and people who want to invest in different things are spread equally across the globe. So essentially, what we're building here is democratizing access to investment opportunities, and DeFi is, in my view, is going to integrate whatever components of the traditional financial markets are available. So you'll be able to buy anything at some point in the DeFi. And DeFi will be, by definition, a preferred way because it's going to be cheaper and accessible globally. So that's why, that's the end goal for us, is to be this big investment app where people can go and easily buy anything. Yeah,
I'm kind of
that.
bullish, okay, about what you guys are doing actually. All right, again, all right, yeah. But can you help me gain some clarity as to? I think this may be a bit dated because that I'm asking this question based on something that you presented 10 months ago, right? You mentioned that one of the things that to improve the user experience right now, the way that people need to do, they come into the platform, they connect their wallet, they need to click, do a few clicks, before they can interact, okay, with the dApps. You mentioned that we had MyEtherWallet, okay, earlier, okay, and people are familiar with MetaMask, but you mentioned in your previous presentation that you want to improve that even further, right? Something about there's a difference between stateless structures and do you know what I'm talking about here?
Oh yeah, I think I know what you're referring to.
Right.
Yeah, we did. I think the idea you're referring to is building something that is not just stateless, but stateful, and
Right.
providing a better experience for the user. Yeah, I think that's a that's something that is different about Zerion to if you compare that to other DApps. So most of the DApps they try to stay completely stateless. So if you're not talking with anything with like if you just put your if you connect your MetaMask, that works. But if you don't, that DApp becomes unusable for you. What we're building, we're trying to build a stateful experience. So um, but at the same time maintaining users' privacy. So building something that would be useful for for people who are coming with MetaMask if they have multiple wallets, if they don't have any wallets. So building an experience in the product and not just a DApp. That's I think one limitation that was put in the DApp. So it kind of constrains what can be used in the DApp. And for instance, you're not allowed to use the backend. And I think that's not the case. So essentially, to provide the better experience, you have to use backend in some form. It can be the graph, it can be your own backend, but it's still the case. And right now, we didn't eliminate that necessity completely. So yeah, I think we should focus on the better experience for the users rather than trying to build just like the apps on the that's how I see it.
Right, got it. So that's the difference between what we are currently having right now, which is stateless, okay, experiences, and you want to create a stateful experience. That's what you're building towards too. So
And sorry, Jason, just to add one thing, I think other even protocols they did realize that at some point, and now the experience of different products is moving towards something that is what I imagined as the good user experience for a DApp. So, as an example, I can mention, let's say, Set Protocol has an amazing product. Which is built around their protocol, and same goes to DYDX, which started off by being just a protocol by itself without no interface essentially, and it was very hard to use. And, it was hard to get traction. So they decided to work on the experience and create a nice UX that is similar to traders would get on centralized exchanges, and that I think works. So that's
okay.
I see as a trend.
Now, one other thing that I found really interesting, okay, which is, to me, it sounds like a differentiator, okay, for Zerion is that when people, so one of the other features that people actually have that I only just realized it quite recently is that because I use Zerion as like I put in my Ethereum address and then I see all the my transactions beautifully all laid out and what I've done. That's what I use Zerion for. But I realized that you can use Zerion through Zerion. You can actually interact with the other dApps, right? Okay.
Yeah.
You can perform certain things that you want to do, like you want to grab a maker DAI loan and etc. You can do that via Zerion. My question is, one of the things that I found is differentiating is that your monetization, okay, is that you don't make money on top of those services, right?
Yeah,
Say for
that's right.
example, yeah.
So,
So where do you make, okay, where does Zerion actually monetize?
yeah, so currently we actually don't have any recurring revenue. We are not charging users for all any services that we provide through Zerion. We are figuring out different models that we can use, and one of them is through DeFi SDK. So DeFi SDK, for the ones who don't know, it's this abstraction layer of smart contracts that we've built to connect to different DeFi protocols and the tokens. So what it allows people to do, so we're currently in the process of auditing the version that will support interacting with different DeFi primitives. So in that version, we do have the business model backed in, and that means essentially if other projects are using DeFi SDK to allow their users to interact with multiple DeFi protocols, and if they charge their users, a portion of these fees would go to Zerion. Um, so yeah, if let's say a wallet integrates DeFi SDK and decides to charge 1% fee on every transactions the users made, 20% of that, and that fee is changeable. So 20% of that would go to Zerion. So that's the current idea for the business model. We'll see how it works. We feel that it's a fair trade. So if other people are using our technology and our protocol in a way, which is DeFi SDK, so if they're charging the users for that service, we are the fee is justified for Zerion.
Okay, let's take one question, okay, from the audience, right? And I think this one is probably, you don't get asked this a lot, do you? No, I'm just joking. So one of the things, okay, that is very interesting is that how similar, okay, that that two projects, okay, actually have the name ZAP with it, okay? So
Yeah.
is that by coincidence, or is it by
It-
coincidence? Is it by coincidence, or is it something, okay, which just happened?
I think it's a pure coincidence. I don't know how guys from Zapper were thinking about the names. I guess they were just they came from Zap, and I think that's how it happened. And we existed before Zap as a protocol happened, so it's a pure coincidence, of course.
Okay, it's just a pure coincidence. All right. Now, so much has
I guess
happened.
sorry, I think the question was more about like how are we different as a product, right?
Right. Okay.
I can take that as well, just to answer fully the question. So, I guess on the surface it does feel similar. So the projects we are solving right now an immediate need in the DeFi space for users who are investing in multiple DeFi primitives. We are solving a similar purpose. I guess time will tell how exactly it's going to emerge. So at some point, Zerion and Instadap were pretty similar, and it's probably going to happen that we're going to specialize on different things. The underlying tech is different. So Zapper fetches everything from the front end, which is a good one way to do it. So we try to aggregate stuff to the back end to provide like a faster experience. But time will tell. And yeah, huge fan of folks at Zapper as well.
Okay, so I have a question for you in regards to, because things are just moving really quickly in this space. It's like so quick, so quick. Okay, and this project is shipping out this feature. That project is shipping out that feature like really quick. Can you share with us, in the last 6 months, what did Zerion look like? What does Zerion look like right now? And where do you hope, okay, in the next, I don't know, 3 to 6 months, Zerion would be?
So essentially, what is there now and what's there going to be in 6 months?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I kind of view it in the 3-step process. So the
Okay.
first step is the easy way to say it, like tracking or monitoring. The second step is execution, and the third step is best execution. So we are currently on step number 1. So we build out the tracking system to support pretty much anything available in the DeFi space. Things we try to integrate as much as possible, as soon as possible. Then the second step is execution. So we already have some execution on Ethereum, but we only have that for a limited number of protocols. We are aiming to add support for more and more interactions and transactions that you can do through Zerion directly without need to go to other platforms to execute that. And then fast execution is talking about what is the best way for the user to execute a specific transaction. So because of our unique position on the market, being this unbiased viewer of the whole space, we can navigate users directly to and kind of transparently talk about the yield they can get, the tax rates they can get, and because we're not getting any money from that. So essentially, this is the best execution step, and I hope in like 6 months from now we'll get to that part of providing the best execution for the user.
Okay. There's a question. I'm not sure whether it's actually related to whether is it applicable to Zerion or not, because Zerion is just improving the user experience of across various different DeFi protocols and tools, right? Okay.
Yeah.
But there's a question from Yong that asks, what is your take on the recent AFTF circulating paper that virtual asset service providers need to comply with KYC and AML and CFT?
Yeah, honestly, I haven't seen this paper yet, but the general take is that we are providing the interface. We're not moving the money ourselves. So that is the position we currently take on this. So we as Zerion, we're non-custodial, and we provide like just the informational layer essentially, and we help you generate transactions, and we don't sign them for you. But yes, but as the regulations change, we'll try to stay, I mean, compliant in the jurisdictions where it's necessary. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Okay, we have another question from the Philippines. Okay, this one's from Chanel. Okay, Chanel asked the question, there's been rumors of Zerion releasing a token. Is there any truth to this rumor? And if so, can you share what the token will be used for?
Yeah, rumors. Yeah, there were some rumors, but essentially we didn't start the rumors. It was someone put out a DER token on Uniswap and even put some liquidity in that, and we decided that you have to take action to prevent people from being phished or scammed in that way. So that's why we posted this tweet about Zerion token being not released. We are thinking about the token, but there's no. So I'm gonna keep everything in secret right now. So as soon as you know,
There's no
if
token. There is no token. Okay, any token out there circulating right now is a scam token. All right, there
Yeah,
is no token right now. Okay.
Yeah.
I have a selfish question that I want to ask myself. Okay, which is right now the stuff that you guys are doing are great, really great. Okay, but the thing is, I still need an Excel spreadsheet to actually help me to track. Okay, what are my entry positions? What are my exit? Because what the current tool allows me to do is just have a snapshot of the current state. You get what I mean, right? Is that something that you guys would be working on in the near future? Okay, because I would love to see a feature where I don't have to rely on my Excel spreadsheet anymore. I could the app is intelligent enough to know that I actually did this, and then on this particular date this is my entry, and when I choose to liquidate some, then it would first in first out, it would know that I have captured profit here, and then it's displayed somewhere so that I could know that I'm always in the green or in the red.
It's great if you're always in group. But, yeah, have you seen the latest feature released to the pages? So that allows you to see all the history of your interactions with this specific asset. So whenever you are buying or selling an asset, it shows up on the asset page. So that is our first step towards having the P&L calculation. So in the section, in the history section, you see that you bought at a specific price or you sold at a specific price, and the only thing we'll just need to add to that is to calculate the overall performance of your position. So that is something that this is selfish as well. I want to have that feature too.
It's cool, right? Okay, it's a feature that you also want to use, and a lot of people also want to use, right?
Yeah, that's a great feature. It's a bit complicated just in terms of historical tracking historical stuff, and this is what we're figuring out, and that's why I think our solution with the information layer is helping out a lot, because we follow blockchain block by block to see whatever was happening in this block, and then we can calculate performance and whatever assets you were buying even in the past. We calculate this, the portfolio performance, which is not perfect yet, but we'll get it done, and then same goes to P&L.
So, okay, so we have a few more questions because we have about maybe another 10 more minutes, okay? I think the next question is more for you, right? Okay, how can the community help you right now? Okay, how can the people from Philippines, okay, from Thailand, from Singapore, from Malaysia, Vietnam, listening in right now help you? What does Zerion need right now?
That's a good question. So yeah, happy to share what we are essentially always looking for new users, and if you have any feature suggestions, that's always amazing for us to understand what users are in need. And yeah, spreading the word about DeFi is always, I think, helpful. DeFi is growing, and helping others, like onboarding your friends to DeFi would be nice. We actually did have like a pretty big influx of new users from Philippines and, and like India as well. So the space is definitely growing, and before it was just the US, I would say, and now it's changing, and I think it's great, and it's always amazing to see new people coming in the space. So let's keep it up as a community, and join our Discord, engage in the conversations, and yeah, help us out.
Okay. All right. So, number one, okay, go and try out Zerion, okay, and be amazed, okay, at what it can actually do. Number two, join the Discord, get active, participate in it, give feedback, okay. Let the Zerion team know what features you like, okay, or report any bugs or things, okay, that you would like to see improved in the Discord channel. Now, speaking of team, right? Can you describe the current who is building Zerion right now? Is it a company? Is it a DAO? How does it work? Because every single project is different.
Yeah, happy to answer that. So we are a team of 13 people right now. We are so we're all remote. We don't have an office. We are a company though. So yeah, we have a company in the US. That's when we started. We decided that we would have to fundraise for the venture. So yeah, the team is mainly consists of Russian engineers. I would put it this way. Yeah, it's a great team of engineers building the product, and we have also recently started um, building out our marketing team. So yeah, huge thanks to them as well. So that's how it is. And one thing to add, maybe the average age is probably about 25, probably even less. So very very young, remote team.
All right. So I think that uh, I think what it is, I'd just like to say is that thank you so much, okay, for being part of Southeast Asia DeFi Week. I think a lot of people gain a lot of clarity, okay, of what it is, okay, what Zerion is, how to use it, what to look forward to. Um, the next thing, okay, that I'd like to find out from you is that uh, what uh, uh, what is how are you how do you find the state of DeFi right now? Okay, how do you finding the state of DeFi? How do you feel about the current state of DeFi right now? Exactly right now, how do you feel right now of the current state?
It's complicated. It's very very hard to keep track of things. And before I had more time to evaluate different projects. Right now, it's becoming a bit of a mess, which is signs of adoption at the same time. And it's great that we have a lot of new users coming in. So I would just push a bit more on rigorousness and like being thorough in how people evaluate different protocols. The example being Yam, it was a great experiment, but it's definitely not suitable for the newcomers who are not, first, they're not ready to pay 300 GMA gas fees, and also they're not ready to lose money, and we shouldn't recreate the ICO model from the DeFi and like to connect this negative connotation to the word DeFi. So I would just encourage caution and or being thorough. Yeah, but overall, just to answer the question how I feel about DeFi, I feel really good about DeFi. So I'm glad that we were DeFi native 10 months ago.
I think so too. I think that we are seeing something really, really meaningful happening here. Anyways, thank you again so much, okay, for being part of Southeast Asia DeFi Week. Thank you for taking your time. I know that you only had 4 hours of sleep last night, okay, which is seems to be like a common thing, okay, among DeFi project founders, right? Uh, and
I wouldn't advise
okay,
having that.
and what time is it where you are right now? Where are you based currently?
I'm currently in Moscow, so it's 12 soon.
Okay. All right. Okay. So thank you again. Okay. We hope that you have enjoyed okay, Southeast Asia DeFi Week. Okay. And we'll see you more in Southeast Asia. If you do come to Malaysia, okay, the community is more than happy to throw you a durian party. That's for certain. Have you been to
Thank you.
Malaysia before?
I actually have. I was, to be honest, like in the morning today, I was talking to the CoinGecko team,
Right,
and
CoinGecko team.
I was just telling them that I was in Malaysia in the beginning of this year. So right before Corona hit, I was in Malaysia for about a week. So I had a good time there.
Did anybody take you out and try the local food or the local fruit durian? Have you tried durian?
No, I haven't. So first of all, it
Okay,
was
so
like,
that is something that we must remedy. Okay, the next time you come to Malaysia. All
yeah,
right,
I
so
didn't see anyone there, so I really wanted to. Next time, I'm gonna just mess with you guys right away. But
let's
the
do that.
time was great in March.
All
Yeah,
right. Okay. Again, thank you so much. Okay. We catch you the
thanks,
next
Jason.
round. Okay. Um, Before we end the session, we'd just like to give a quick shout out to our event partners. The first one being our friends from Vietnam, Viewfin Education. So Viewfin is one of the largest Vietnamese blockchain communities out there, and they have a weekly podcast which over hundreds of Vietnamese tune in every single week to listen to blockchain founders, DeFi founders, uh, cryptocurrency enthusiasts in the space. Do check out their podcasts. Do reach out to their team. If you'd like to get connected to the Vietnamese community. Next, a shout out to our friends from Thailand. This is the Dash community. Um, uh, this is Felix. Right here. He manages. A really, although they are Dash. They are open advocates to cryptocurrencies brought. That's why that they are happy to support this event. Promoting the awareness of DeFi. In fact, Felix is going to be part of one of our panelists tomorrow. Tomorrow is our last day. Can you imagine? We've already come a full stretch already, starting from Monday last week. And really excited for tomorrow's panel. They're going to help all of us to unpack what we have covered over the last 7 days. Right? What are the key takeaways? What are the must do's? What are the must don'ts? Also joining us in the panel tomorrow is our friend from Australia named Luke Jones. Our friend who I met from the Philippines, but now he's back somewhere in Europe. I think either Switzerland or Italy. Amadio Brands. He is also one of the known trainers for Ivan on Tech Academy. He'll be joining us tomorrow, and I'm very happy that David Hoffman from Bankless is also joining us tomorrow for the panelists as well. So really looking forward to it. We're done for today. Tomorrow we're going to cap it off with three first we're going to cover off with Dia, okay, which talks about oracles, which is an important component, okay, to the DeFi space. We're going to talk, then we're going to go into our panelist session, and then finally we're going to cap it off with Maker, okay, which we will be talking about decentralized governance. It's been an excellent privilege, okay, to host day 6 of Southeast Asia DeFi Week. Do fill in the feedback form, okay, scan the QR code right now. We're going to leave it up for a minute. Scan the QR code, let us know what your feedback is. How was the event? How was the session? Do you like Zerion? Let us know. And put in the best question, okay, that you would like to contend to win top 10 best question, and you can potentially win 10 ETH. And if we get even more questions, okay, like really, really good ones, we might consider to give more prizes. So keep your questions coming, keep it juicy, all right, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, 3 p.m., right here on the live stream. Bye, guys.
It's all these crazy thoughts like, will you always like me? Will we be alright, or why will I make lots of money and live out in the hills with a life that people envy? How easy can I lose it all and watch it fall around me? I just don't know how to chill. Would it kill me just to try? Take a sec for myself. 'Cause I don't know why I always spiral instead. But a voice inside my head said I should care. That I should care. That I should care. I don't know why I always spiral. Maybe I should care less. Feeling careless. Chill, would it kill me just to try and take a sec to myself? 'Cause I don't know why I always spiral instead. But a voice inside my head said I should care. That I should care. I always spiral. Maybe I should care less.